Alright, so if you read the title of this video, it'll say something like, I'm never coming home, red dawn bag, bug out bag, this, that, or the third. And what I want to show, it's coming up on the time where I like to go to the gym 5 days a week, lift weights, being strong, athletic. I do manual labor, so it helps, it carries over. But with this coronavirus going around, there's going to be a day in the near future where I have to decide to not go to the gym as a precautionary measure. It's a no-brainer why being at a gym during the time of a viral outbreak is not a good idea. But as an alternative to going to the gym, one thing that I can do is I can train. I can carry my bug out bag, my ruck bag, my I.N.C.H bag, my red dog bag, whatever. I'm not going to get into the philosophy behind it. If you've ever seen Red Dawn, they were invaded by a foreign country. They had to take everything they had last minute and they threw it all into a pickup truck. And if a bad situation happens and you have the liberty of driving a car away, then it's as easy as throwing this bag right here into the back of a car, and then I've got it in case the car breaks down, in case I run out of gas, in case I have to ditch the car. If there's an EMP, nuclear war, massive fallout, I don't want to be where I am. I put this bag on and I walk. Okay? But an alternative to going to the gym would be sit-ups, push-ups, pull-ups, and then this bug out bag, rucking. This is my training bag, right? This is a Condor bag. I did add some stuff back when this was like my main bag. This is way over the top, way unnecessary. Don't need all of it to survive. But I started building bug out bags in like 2011. I started with the Alice pack that I bought off eBay for like $50, and then I went to Walmart and I filled it up with another $50 worth of stuff. And since then, over the past 9 years, I've kind of created the Cadillac of bug out bags, in my opinion. Everybody's bug out bag is different to suit their needs. Now, this is my training bag. This is a Condor bag, right? I got this. You go to military surplus stores and you can find some old stuff. This fit one of my 16-ounce water bottles perfectly. This right here, this is, I'm not sure what it is. It's an ammo pouch, like an extended mag pouch, but it fits my my folding saw perfectly. I've got some water bottle containers. I like these because he's got the MOLLE attachments, MOLLE. But anyways, this is my training bag. It's why I have this here so I don't get hit by a car. And I have 80 pounds of weights in it. I weigh somewhere between 200 and 210 pounds. Sorry, I'm trying to show you. And I think that a person can carry somewhere around 50% of their body weight if they're healthy. So I got another 20 pounds to go here. That doesn't mean that you need all the stuff. I would like to add that I'm very confident in my abilities to carry just a wool blanket. And anyways, there's weights in here. Look, here's a 10-pound weight. I'll carry this. I'll go around town with it. I used to carry this in the woods, but with all the mass shootings, I don't want any trouble from anybody. Somebody calling the police saying they got a military bag. Right, I got a 35-pounder in here. And then there's a 35-pound plate as well. The stickers, the zippers are stuck and I only have one hand, so there's a 35-pound plate in this 35-pound plate in that tower. So like I said, I've got about 20 pounds to go. Let me put this down. I haven't touched this bag in about 2 years. And when I lifted it, it seemed somewhere close to 70 pounds because that one was 80. Now, like I said, I haven't touched it in 2 years, so I don't know what's in it. But first I'm going to go check out the stuff that's on the side. This is my axe. It's a Wetterling's axe. right? It's the 32-ounce one, and inside this, I can't remember if I bought this this sheath. I'm 90% sure I bought it from Dave Canterbury at Wilderness Outfitters. Inside the sheath, I'm not going to really deconstruct all of this, but you can see the outline of it. Inside the sheath, I have some saw blades, like some teeth saw, so that I don't wear down my axe if I'm cutting stuff down. There could be 5 of them, and there's videos out there how to take a stick and some rings, like some D-rings like this, and how to make a saw that you can actually cut stuff with, just like that. So I got 2 cutting tools right here. In this bag right here, I forget the name of it, I bought it years ago. This is one of the greatest bags. It's got so many things to fasten with. It's got these pouches on the side. It's comfortable, right? I took some, whatchamacallit? Oh, I use it all the time. It's like spray-on rubber, like Flex Seal, that's what it is. And I hit the bottom of it so it doesn't wear out when I'm taking the bag on and off. Now on the other side, I just have a shovel. There's room for a bow and arrow in a custom-made case. There's room for a firearm. There's room for a fishing pole. There's room for a machete. Like I said, I'm training to be able to carry 100 pounds if I need to. You can always just take something and throw it away or give it to somebody who doesn't have anything in the event of needing to bug out. I'm missing, well, not missing, it's in my room somewhere. Oh no, here it is. I've got this thing MacGyvered to no end. And like I said, the reason why I love this bag, because I can just fasten stuff up. Now, say you get to where you want to go and you need to do some exploring and you don't want to carry this big bag. This big bag has mostly just clothing in it. If I was to have to leave where I'm at in the summertime and go somewhere secluded and survive in the wintertime, that's nothing but winter gear in there. This is a Maxpedition day pack, right? And this is a Maxpedition waist pack. So the way I've got it fastened, I'm gonna take this whole bag apart, and I don't even remember everything that's in there. I'm gonna show everything that I got. So, well, there's nothing in there. Flashlight. A green flashlight, it works because it's more difficult to see. A knife. This is a buck knife. Hold on. I'm a righty, so give me a second. Regular blade. Saw blade with a hook. It's actually a gut hook for gutting animals, but you can use it to cut cordage with. You can beat somebody over the head with it. Break a window with it. Lighter. You should have 100 lighters in your bug out bag. Wells Lamont gloves. Excellent gloves. I'm a landscaper. I do construction, so here's another flashlight. Like I said, I'll repeat myself a bunch of times. I go overboard in this bag. If I had to, I could survive on that, just that bag. Some wool blankets, an axe, a firearm, and a drinking container. That's easy. But you never know what you're gonna need until you need it. And I'm not scared of a physical challenge. What do I have here? Sharpening stone. This thing is nice. It's got something on it. I think this is for sharpening hooks, fishing hooks. That groove right there. It's very nice with the lanyard on it. This is a rain bag, so I take this out and I cover my pack with mesh materials in case it starts raining. My fishing kit, I'm not going to open it up. I'm not going to tear it apart but I've got a lot of stuff in here. You can see hooks, string, and you don't need a fishing rod to go fishing. You can set traps, you could do a whole bunch of stuff. I got string, hooks, a knife. I'm pretty sure there's a light in there. You name it. I think I can fit some more stuff in there, which I'll probably try to do one day. Now that I've gone over this is, like I said, I haven't gone through this in 2 years. I think it's time for me to make sure I have everything. And this stuff is in my day pack for a reason. If I was to get somewhere, I would want to explore. What do I have in here? Just a camo hat. Keep the rain off your head. This would be a sewing kit. I don't know how to sew. I've watched a couple videos on YouTube. Binoculars. This is actually a jacket, like a rain jacket. It's not waterproof, but it's water resistant. It's light, it's foldable. You know, I don't know what's in here. Oh, this is a poncho that can also act as a hammock. So like I said, the rain gear. This is my medical pack. I probably have to get rid of 3/4 of this stuff because I did this a few years ago, and I'm not talking about expiration dates. But there's a flashlight. First thing in my medical pack, flashlight and a lighter. But what I mean medical pack is my idea of what you can do in the field and what you can't in the field has changed. I do have sutures in here. And another sharpening stone, and this is part of my field kit. Not a sharpening stone, a sharpening rod. I only have one hand, so not gonna. All right. Oh. Wait a second. A fire kit. This is a bike inner tube that I cut, and it makes the perfect rubber band. I think they call them Ranger bands. There's a hole in this. This isn't an Altoids can, but you can find any type. There's a hole in this to make char cloth through pyrolyzation. Never, what's this? Like a sniper's net. If you're bugging out, that means you don't want to be seen. You don't want to be seen by the government. You don't want to be seen by starving people. You just don't want to be seen. You want to move quietly. But this is a sniper's veil. You want to move quick. It's also a filter, you know, double purpose. I can filter stuff out with it. I can collect stuff with it. Right? I collect acorns with it. Never underestimate the redundancies and the extra usage that you have. They're called like shimogs or something like this. They wear them out in the Middle East. They're perfect. So I got a brown camo one. Waterproof Gore-Tex pants. Again, this is all based upon accessibility. And I'm missing a ton of stuff. That's also one of the reasons why I'm going through it. I told you this pack is maybe 15, 20 pounds short. And let's see what we have in here. I'm missing my sleeping bag, which is a Feathered Friends sleeping bag. And then I have the... What else? I have... from the military sleeping bag system, I have the Gore-Tex cover for it. I have one other thing I just can't remember. Oh man, if anybody has ever gone hiking in the snow, you know that there's no avoiding the moisture getting out. So these are like, I forget the name of them, little things that go under your shoes. That strap right there goes under the shoe, and it's waterproof, so it covers everything. I don't know what it's for. Oh, military buff, merino wool. Goes on your neck, goes on your head, goes wherever you want. Emergency blanket. It's a tarp with mylar to reflect heat, to reflect light. You can use it for signaling if you need rescue. This is a drinking container in here from Dave Canterbury. And in this pouch, I have a flask, a metal flask. I can, if I have a day to prepare and bug out, I can put oil in that, put olive oil in that flask, coconut oil in that flask, and it has calories. The Roman army used to carry olive oil. Here's my cooking kit. I'm gonna go through this in a second. Here we go, Dave Canterbury. Oh, Wilderness Outfitters, that's their logo. And, some Arctic gloves with some wool mittens inside of it, and gloves, and more gloves. This is actually my personal hygiene, my toiletry kit, I think. No. This is where I keep books. This is actually a solar panel. Yeah, this is a foldable solar panel, and it's got USB chargers and stuff like that. That's why that's there. Because if I can carry my iPhone, depending on the situation, and get some topographical maps on that iPhone, whether or not they're service, that's very useful. And this is the liner that goes into the bag. It's waterproof. And I have an LL Bean Commando wool vest. You'll see most of the stuff that I have here is wool. Wool is the best. You can get close to fire with it. It doesn't burn or melt. I mean, if you threw it in the fire, it would burn. It's a natural material. It's antimicrobial. Retains 80% of its heat when wet. Don't go with cotton. Don't go with nylon. This is a Browning silent camo. Is Gore-Tex on the inside. This next item is probably my pride and joy of the whole pack. I've never found a company, especially because it's made in America, right there, Empire Wool and Canvas. This is their camp shirt or something like that. It's a pullover. It's made of wool. Got fleece on the inside, zippers, pouches, elbow cuffs. It's warm, super warm. The craftsmanship on this is like no other. Here, I have an Asbel Fred Archer, just a wool shirt. This is another great company, a lot more reasonably priced, and it's just a wool shirt, and they're accommodating. I asked them for an extra long length here so that I can sit down and not get my butt wet. It also helps protect from the wind. So these are probably Duluth. Yeah, the Duluth Flex fire hose. These are excellent. And here's just tons of socks, tons of wool underwear, cold weather garments. I'm missing a lot of stuff. Darn tough socks. All different kinds, all different layers. These are gator skins made by DuPont. This is the one synthetic thing that I have in my bag. I test all my gear when I do construction and landscaping out in the winter, shoveling snow. I'll go camping occasionally, minus 33 merino. I put a lot of money into this, but remember, I did this over about 10 years. And it's stuff that I do not regret having, even if it just sits there. Okay, so I kind of lied. They say cotton kills. I do have some cotton. Some green Hanes, like tank top shirts. And some shorts by Rail Riders, another great company that you might have never heard of. So this isn't it. This isn't everything. I'm missing a lot of stuff. My sleeping bag. I have a thing that straps in here on top of it, right? I'm missing a few electronics. I keep my electronics in a Faraday cage. I gotta go through my health kit. But if you were just starting out and you needed something, this should be one of the first things you buy, a wool blanket. Here is, they were kind of hidden, some knives. This is just a knife that I had lying around my house. I won't use it. It was just in the pile with the other knives. The first knife I ever bought was a Bear Grylls knife. I regret it. I think I broke it in half and threw it away. I don't even want to give it away because I don't let somebody carry a Bear Grylls knife. Here's a jacket, military surplus, Gore-Tex jacket. You know, if you're lucky, you can find them at Goodwill for like $20. Go to a military surplus store, find them for $50. I don't know what they go for now. They sell them on eBay. And I buy a lot of my stuff on eBay. Here's an LL Bean sweater vest. It was just laying around. But here's my knives. Again, you'll see a huge Ranger band here. And it's got, this is a sharpening tool in there. And I could have sworn I had some fire devices in here. Anyways, this one, which is this knife? Fieldcraft, made by, I can't even remember, it's been so long and it won't focus. The Brothers of Bushcraft, right? Got a micarta handle. It's got this little dimple here for making bow saw. Like, it's the spindle. You hold this down and it reduces the friction, because using a block of wood causes more friction than this. And I have tested this, and I have created a fire using a bow drill. That's the friction fire, the Native American fire. I used a grinder to rip this stuff off, because if the metal is covered by this coating, you can't, and I'm going to show you the edge maybe. See, I put an edge on it so that I can use a magnesium fire starter. If I'm going to start a fire, I'm using a Bic lighter. I'm sorry. I'm using a Bic lighter and a gallon of gas. This is just in case. And I like this knife. I love it. But after watching plenty of survival videos, doing work in the backyard, you know, unfortunately because of laws, it's tough to carry this stuff around. Because this definitely is against the law. And I haven't used this knife yet, but I wanted something that was bigger. That's why I still wrapped in this oil to prevent it from rusting. And it's doing a fantastic job as far as I can tell. And this one is a Wilderness Out. I got this from Dave Canterbury, but it's made by somebody else. And this handle is perfect. My dog got into a bag of protein powder that I had tucked away here, right? I still got to go through my cooking kit. I had protein powder laying next to here. My pit bull, she was a puppy, and she just ripped all the protein powders, and she was drooling, and she drooled on it. So that's why I haven't washed it. I'm just like, hey, it's not damaging it, and it's camouflage. It's desert camouflage, right? Because black does not really occur in nature unless you're talking about crows or something like that. A nice leather handle, and this is a nice big blade. I can actually chop stuff down with it if needs be. It's got the fire starter thing. I like it. So, onto the cooking kit. This is one of the more important things in the bag, because you're going to need food, which is what this bag does not have, is food or water. My containers are MIA, but I'm going to get this video done. Like I said, I'm not going into the philosophy of all this stuff. Some people want to sit there and argue philosophy. It's like, look, just make sure that you have it, right? And this is all Dave Canterbury stuff. Anyways, again, I only have one hand. This is their bush pot in here. See the size? The bush pot, right? Inside the bush pot, I have tons of protein powders. This is the ones that my dog got into. Protein powders. I used to work at a food store, so I got all this stuff for free. I don't know what that is. Just instant coffee. And there's more. You can't see them. See the orange stuff? Those are saw blades. that I just have wrapped around there. More and more saw blades, more saw blades. I opted for the smaller, it's like a seagull pot from MSI, Alpine Stowaway. It's just spice, black peppers. Because when you kill squirrels or whatever, you're gonna wanna, I got some bamboo spoons, steel wool, can openers, more spices, bouillon cubes, more coffee, a sponge. Cleaning is important, hygiene is important. Steel wool. If you have a battery, you need to start a fire. There's a fire kit in here. There's more saw blades in here. This is string to start. This is a tarred bank line to start a fire. So this is just a basic introductory to bug out bags. And it's best to have one. Like I said, you can start with a simple backpack. You should have a backpack with flashlights, food, a water bottle, a metal water bottle so you can boil the water for sanitation, gloves, hat, an extra pair of shoes. I don't have my shoes with me. I actually picked these up on clearance over winter. Just some LL Bean shoes. I haven't tested them out yet. That's the great thing about, the only thing I like about Christmas is the clearance sales afterwards. So like I said, make sure that you have a bug out bag in case you need to hoof it a few miles to get to where you need to go to get to safety. Leave all your house and your worldly possessions behind. You can't take them with you. And sham cloth. See, everything here is earth toned, but I do have some signaling devices. In survival situations and survival shows, I can take tiny little pieces of these and cut them and peg them to trees, right? To create a trail to show people which direction I'm headed. I can wave it around to get attention. Mirrors are better for signaling planes and helicopters, but you never know when you want to be seen. That's why everything is the way it is. Like I said, water bottle. Dave Canterbury has 5 C's and 10 C's, but 5 C's I can think of off the top of my head. It's cover. You need cover. I don't have a tarp in this. I'm 50-50 between a tarp from Walmart, one of them nylon tarps, or a canvas tarp, but they're very heavy, so managing weight is an issue at this point. Cover, right? Combustion, and have tens of different ways of doing combustion. You want ferrocerium rods, you want lighters, you want all the stuff that you could think of to start a fire, because you don't want to go without fire, trust me. Unless you're trying to not be seen, that's a whole nother topic. Cover, combustion, cutting, container, anything you can boil water in. You don't want to get sick. Unless you know you're getting rescued in 24 hours, you don't want to drink contaminated water. And cordage. This is another thing that's missing. I have a pack of cordage somewhere that's not in here. 550 cord, tarred bank line. Some people even carry climber's rope. But that's it. That's the 5 C's. The 10 C's goes beyond that. And this is all my winter gear. This is like the Cadillac of bags. I have a bunch of stuff in a Faraday cage that I made out of a... Anyways, we're coming up on 30 minutes. That's my bug out bag, my inch bag, and I'm prepared to carry it. I train. It's time to start. I love it because it's landscaping season, so I get time off. It's time for me to start training. I'm going to hit the roads. Do at least 3 miles a day with these packs on. Can you carry half of your body weight 30 miles a day every day? Probably not. But in Lois and Clark, the book Undaunted Courage, which I also have books that I want to put in here, like mushroom identifying books, plant identifying books. I always test and expand my knowledge, but it's better to have a reference as we know from the story of Christopher McCandless. And I lost my train of thought. Oh, Lois and Clark would cover about up to 30 miles a day with like a 35 pound pack. So if your goal is 10 miles a day, you can do it with half your body weight. And that's my goal. So that's your bug out bag. Get your bug out bags ready. Yeah. The stuff in China, they're locking down the country. It's not just the flu. And it's coming to a town near you. I'm out.